When it comes to super Helldive automatons, there's a lot of options you have available to you. So let's just get straight into it. What are the best options, best weapons, best primaries you can use for super Helldive bots? I know a lot of you guys have your opinions about what's your favorite specifically. So just to preface, just because you may not see an option that you use on here doesn't mean it's any less viable, or if it's horrible, or I think it sucks. These are just my recommendations that should be noob friendly and or provide some sort of utility to its user. So let's start off with the gun I probably simp for the most, and it's probably my favorite gun in the game. I've made multiple videos about it at this point, and that's the Constitution rifle. This gun is not only going to make you feel and look super cool, and is super satisfying to use, but it has the best ammo efficiency here on the list at Armor Pen 3 and 180 damage. This gun is basically going to be, if you get a headshot, you're one-shotting Devastators, you're one-shotting Berserkers, and you're also one-shotting those Troopers and Commissars. Trust me, it is constantly shitted on and considered a meme weapon, but once you learn its little skill curve that it does have a skill curve, but once you get past it after just a few games, it becomes such an amazing weapon to use. It's honestly, for automatons, it's honestly an S tier weapon, and everyone has it. So give it a shot. Trust me. If you can make sure you can land your headshots, bring some stun nades with you, you're gonna be in a perfect world. Trust me, because you're gonna be one-shotting basically all the annoying enemies, and anything heavier, you have your special weapon and stratagems for. Next, you can't really go wrong with the Scorcher. Really, any of the plasma guns, be it the Plasma Purifier or Punisher, it really just comes down to your preference. I like the more direct, fast-firing DMR feel for the Scorcher, which has a little AoE allowing you to kind of just face fire at Striders and call it a day. Since the AoE kills the pilot, at AP3 pen with a 200 damage, you can't really go wrong. The simple difference between all three is, if I was to break it down into the most basic level, is the Scorcher is like the AR rapid-fire plasma. The Plasma Punisher is going to be a more heavier plasma that does massive AoE and more damage, however is slower to fire, and the Purifier is something in the middle, able to charge up to do those massive AoE shots or rapid fire like the Scorcher. All are amazing options for you on the bot front. I feel I'd be doing you all a disservice if I didn't mention the democratic delivery device thought up by the freest minds, the Bolter, or in this game, the Jar 5 Dominator. At AP3 medium pen and 275 damage, you're going to be blasting those inhuman commie bots with rocket propelled divine intervention. This motivational device is not only badass, but extremely effective at single target damage. Most of, if not all targets, except maybe gunships and factory striders, will be no issue for you. Trust in democracy as it leads your bullets, because this gun is absolutely insane. I will say, not all sunshine and rainbows, as the weapon has a somewhat slow muzzle velocity, which requires the user to compensate for bullet drop and movement at longer ranges. Although thanks to the large and slow projectile, it is relatively easy to lead. Consequently though, the Jar 5 is best used at medium range, yet if you can compensate, you can really get a lot out of the gun, as well as, like I try to say, it is best at single target fire. So when you have those moments on bots where you're just getting swamped by a bunch of commissars and troopers, it's really not going to be the best option. I'm not saying it's horrible. Obviously, it's going to one-shot all of them. But if you want something that's going to take them down quick, maybe bring an LMG, throw an Eagle Airstrike and call it a day. But for those Devastators, those Berserkers, it is going to be tearing those guys through. I probably think we all know that for a second place pick, the Diligence Counter Sniper and Diligence having so much accuracy and damage, as well as being so awfully available to everybody. I know it's the two guns, but you know, like, you guys have to realize Diligence and the Counter Snipe, they're honestly so close in stats that the only difference being the Counter Snipe is a whole armor pen higher at AP3 with 200 damage, and the normal Diligence being at light pen. However, for what it doesn't have in stopping power, it does have more in the magazine. So with the counter snipe, you're going to have 6 spare mags at 15 rounds each, while the Diligence is going to be having around 8 spare mags at 20 rounds each. So it's up to you. Are you more worried about ammo or stopping power? These weapons are so good, so good for bots. 1-2 shots on light enemies to one-shot headshotting your medium guys like Devastators and Berserkers. And with no cycling like the Constitution rifle, you can actually get multiple shots off very quickly and put down Devastator patrols or close in with those closing in cells of Berserkers. Because to run back to the Constitution, that's why I did say bring stuns, is that unlike the Diligence counter sniper or the Diligence, you can easily get swamped by Berserkers. So you want to bring in stuns to slow those guys down. Unlike the Diligence counter snipe and Diligence, since you don't have to cycle the bullet, you really don't have to worry about getting swamped that much. Even then, you still bring stuns if you want. They're amazing grenades. They do come in free with Helldiver mobilizations, so you really have no barrier to entry besides just playing the game and grinding out medals. And I think we all know what's the best weapon to use. The best weapon for both bots and bugs, a weapon probably everyone already knew was at the top of this list. It's real no surprise, with 620 damage, explosive ammo, AP3 armor pen, and is also one-handed for the hell of it, the crossbow. It's actually ridiculous the amount of utility this primary weapon has. This weapon can blow up fabricators. You can unironically use it as a special weapon, bring a stalwart as a primary, ultimatum as your secondary for those detector towers and jammers, and that's really the ultimate automaton setup. It's insane. You do MOs that require you to pick up an SSD, you can use your crossbow. A weapon that has high pen, high damage, with a good amount of AoE so it can clear those patrols very quickly. It's just crazy how some people will be out here saying this gun is bad because they can't aim. And on top of all that, that explosion that the bolt does also staggers light and medium armored enemies if it doesn't already kill them. It's a bonkers gun. I don't know what else. Make it heavy armor pen, I guess. Is that what's next? Because they just keep buffing that gun. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and found it helpful. And like I said, especially with this meta currently, almost everything we have is viable, but these are just some of my recommendations and my favorites. If you guys have specific weapons you like to use, put it down in the comments and spread the knowledge. I'll see you all next time. Be safe, have fun, and I'll catch y'all next time.